Popular Vehicles management joining in with us. John Verghese, CFO at the company, joining in with us. Thank you so much, Mr. Verghese, for joining in with us on this very special day. ET now is turning 15th, but your 2025 outlook also is seeming very positive.
Absolutely. Congrats on completing 15 years and more such milestones in future. Thanks for having me here today. Yes, of course, FY24 was good for us. We had double-digit growth, so top line, bottom line, and we continue to have the same forecast for the next year too. Whilst, as you know, we are in various segments of the auto industry. We are with the mass market and premium segment with Maruti. We are with the luxury brand segment with JLR. We are with commercial vehicles with Tata Motors and Bharat-Benz. Recently, we got into the EV space also with the two-wheeler Ather. And last but not least, we have a spares distribution segment, which is also growing more than 15% year on year. So yes, overall, we are looking at continuous growth even in the current year.
Number, right? From 11 to 99% is what one could say is double digit. So in that double digit, which range do we expect? Could we expect that 15+% mark to continue something on that range for the company?
Yeah, so whilst the passenger vehicle per se, they are saying about muted growth of a single digit mid growth about 5 to 6%. That's primarily because of the higher base of last year. But for us, it plays out a bit differently. So as I was mentioning, we are with the mass market and premium segment. Primarily, we are in Kerala and Chennai with Maruti. So here, if you see in Kerala, unlike the other states last year you find there was a double-digit growth for the passenger vehicle industry all over India. Whereas in Kerala, it was muted. So in that sense, we are having a lower base on which we will be looking at a higher growth in the current year. Moreover, even in last year, we had double-digit growth in the Nexa premium outlets, which we see to continue even this year. So that's as far as the mass market and premium is concerned. Going to the JLR, the luxury segment, which is there in Karnataka, they are also, last year we grew by nearly about 158%. If we would have grown even more, if not for the fact in Q4 we were short of vehicles because of the import restrictions. So here again, we are upbeat. We are looking at double-digit growth, more than 20% also this year. And JLR themselves also have indicated about doubling their growth in the next 1 or 2, 3 years. And they have also started localization of their Range Rover series. Coming to the commercial vehicle segment, whilst the market, the industry experts talk about degrowth of say a mid-single digit. Here again, ours is a bit different. In Kerala, we are more of the lower LCV segment. So wherein we are looking at attraction from recovery of the tourist sector. So we see some green shoots happening in Kerala, as well as the e-commerce is growing, which happened last year. We continue to look at this to continue this year. Going to Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra, where we are with Bharat-Benz and with Tata Motors. In Chennai specifically, we are looking at the Amravati, again, restarting, the project restarting. So you'll find a lot of the fleet owners are based out of Chennai, so attraction from there. Whereas in Maharashtra, we are at the vantage points of crisscross of the national highways. So you'll find the boost that the government is giving on infrastructure, that's going to play out in our Maharashtra commercial vehicle segment too. Of course, two-wheeler EV, of course, is on the growth part last year and this year, and we continue to expect more than 50% growth in EV. But of course, the base is very small, so that's a bit insignificant. Now, the other segment, whilst we are talking about the volumes in terms of new vehicle sales, we have another segment called service, where we find continuous growth. In fact, the CAGR, which we had for the last 3 years in the service, was more than 25%, sorry, and which we continue to hope we continue that traction going forward this year too. So overall, I think it's a pretty good year we're looking for in FY. Continue to have a good year in FY25.
Good year there as well, Mr. Verghese. But, I want to know, like you did highlight a bit in terms of the premium segment and that. And clearly, there is indeed a realization increase in premiumization, electrification. What is it that, you want to focus on in terms of maybe an investment purpose? Or how do we see this driving this trend specifically?
Yeah, so whilst we talk of premiumization, definitely that's happening. As I mentioned, the focus is more on the Nexa models than the Arena models. That also has played out. And in our mix of commercial also, you'll find that, as I was mentioning in Maharashtra, in Bharat Benz, we are more of HDT vehicles, which has got more of so-called premiumization because of the construction industry and the long haulage vehicles that are now required, or the demand is there for that. But more importantly, what as I said, we are focusing on service. This plays out in our service pie also. So whereas a arena vehicle which comes for a service could get a certain amount per vehicle per job call, a Nexa vehicle when it comes for servicing, there the premiumization also happens the service part of it. And in commercial vehicles too, with the whole lot of sophistication that's happening, you have the because of BS4 to BS6 happening, you'll find the engines and the entire gear system per se has changed. Then you have the AC, being compulsory from I think next year. So all this is help. Kind of bringing about a more of because of the technologies that is changing, the service pie of it also keeps increasing, and the shift happens from the from the other segment to our segment to the organized, from the unorganized segment to the organized segment, because of all the sophistication that's happening in the vehicles. So that's where we are focusing on.
Mr. Verghese, what I want to know in terms of the segments or products that you talk about, we want to understand that how is the focus going to shift in terms of the high margin business? What is the focus going to be on that?
Yeah, as I said, one is of course what is playing out in the market itself, the premiumization that is happening, which itself the whole thing goes the weighted average of the vehicle, the blended margins going up. But more importantly, as I said, since we are looking at the service pie of our business, for example, last year we have something, we calculate something called the service sales ratio, wherein a year back we were 20, means 20 services to one vehicle sold, which has increased to 22, and going forward we keep on increasing that. Even these service as a percentage of total sales volume, about 3 years back it was about 13%. It's come up to 15% now, and going forward also we keep on increasing that pie of it. The EBITDA margins of service has been improving from a 13% to 19%, and here again we are focusing on the body shop, which contributes nearly 75% of the EBITDA of service. So from a body shop, basically the EBITDA margins are around 25%, the EBITDA that we get. So these are the areas that we're focusing on to improve our bottom line as we move forward and improve on our profitability.
Lastly, Mr. Verghese, want to understand in terms of the expansion plan and network. Obviously, right now, majorly, your focus is on the Kerala side, where you have the contribution coming in from. So, in terms of network expansion and anything on the inorganic side that you would be looking at?
Absolutely. Of course, Kerala, maybe 2-3 years back, we were about 80% of our revenues were from Kerala. But in FY24, when we ended, it came down to 60%. Going forward, we are looking to bring it down to below 50% in the next couple of years. Organic continues, we continue to invest in service centers. For example, in FY24, we had about 8 service centers, plus about a couple of showrooms, organic, which will continue that trend will continue this year too. Inorganic, definitely, we are always on the watch, on the lookout. And definitely, we will look at, the last 2-3 years also, we've done major acquisitions, which will continue to focus in this year. So state, we are agnostic to any state to operate from, but primarily we are looking at south and the western parts of the country. So that's our story moving forward.
Thank you so much for joining in with us, giving us all those details about the company, the outlook, double-digit growth, a good growth that we're expecting from popular vehicles going forward. And thank you so much for joining in with us on this very special day. Let's move on and more.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.